everybody, it's Michelle, and we've been reading Hocus Pocus Hotel, The Prisoners of the 13th Floor by Michael Dahl. Okay? Alright, so the group of kids, Tyler, Cosette, Annie, and Charlie, finally found the missing older magician. He's an older gentleman, and he was trapped in a room on the 13th floor. And once they found him, they ran into something everybody thought was a legend about some statues, and they think they are worth millions. And maybe that is why the evil magician is doing what he's doing to get a hold of these statues. I don't know. So let's read chapter 4 and the rest of the book and find out. Chapter 4 is The Old Magic Returns. Okay, Tyler sighed. I'm starving here, people, and we need a doctor to look at Brack's ankle. Cosette turned to Charlie. You said you knew a way out of here. Right, said Charlie. Let's go back to the hall we first landed in. It took longer to retrace their steps with the injured Brack, but soon they were back in the hallway. See, said Charlie, pointing to the floor. I knew it was there. In the glow of the phone, they saw a familiar shape on the carpet. Aladdin's magic carpet, said Annie. Or at least it looks like it anyway. Just like the rectangle above us on the 14th floor, said Charlie. You mean it was right there all the time, said Ty. Charlie began running his hands along the wall, searching for another hidden switch. I figured they'd be right here on top of each other, he said. Ah, here it is. His left hand touched a bumpy shape protruding from the wallpaper. Another flower. This one was a sunflower. Stand back, he yelled. Then he twisted the plaster flower just as Cosette had twisted the lily. Something banged against the floor. Gears rattled and walls shook as the floor began to sag. Light shot up from below as the rectangle in the carpet slanted downward to reveal a lit hallway on the 12th floor. I wonder if this does that with all the floors. Carefully, they helped Brack down the ramp. As soon as they all stepped into the lower hallway, the ramp snapped up like the end of a teeter-totter. This is the hallway with the glass door, said Ty. This is where I went up. After you took off for the elevators, the ramp came down again. So why didn't you just come back down the same way? Asked Annie. I didn't know how it worked, said Tyler. Well, that's how David Dragonstone got into the hallway without you seeing him enter it, said Charlie. Remember how you said you saw the black curtains dropping down over the glass door? That's what clued me in to the secret ramp. The black curtains used in the magic trick moved from side to side on a frame like rectangular curtains. When you said you saw them drop down from the far end of the hall where you were standing, I knew you must have seen something dropping down. After you left the hall, I took one last look around, said Tyler, and then, for no reason, the ceiling began to open up and the ramp came down. That's when I went up to the 13th floor and got stuck. Hey, how many of these ramps are there? He asked Brack. I don't know, said Brack. I hired architects and builders who were magicians, you know. The hotel has magic built into every wall. Even I don't know all the abracadabra secrets. They led Brack to the elevators on the 12th floor and then descended to the main floor lobby. Tyler, shouted his mother as soon as they stepped into the lobby. Miranda Yu rushed over, her arms outspread. She gave Tyler a hug, but he shrugged it off. My son doesn't like me to hug him either. Mrs. Yu's expression grew stern and she folded her arms. Tyler Yu, why have you been ignoring your beeper for the past 24 hours? She demanded. Brack raised his hands. I'm afraid that was my fault, Mrs. Yu. Tyler was busy rescuing me. Once the magician explained how Tyler had been trying to help him and how he had hurt his ankle during his abduction, Miranda Yu's anger drained away. She ordered Brack to wait in the lobby while she phoned a doctor. Brack settled into a plump, overstuffed chair. Meanwhile, Cosette peppered Annie with dozens of questions about David Dragonstone and whether they could go back upstairs for his autograph. A flash of lightning blazed through the vast lobby. It flickered on a forest of columns and a jungle of potted plants. I thought that storm was over, said Charlie. We all make mistakes, came a booming voice from the center of the room. A tall man in a swirling cape with a black mustache and cruel eyes appeared. Theophilus, said Ty. I heard the wonderful news of your return, old friend, said the man, bowing toward the seated Brack. "We just got here," said Charlie. "How could you have heard anything?" Theophilus slowly shook his head. "Still doubting my mystical abilities, I see," he said. "Well, Brack, I'm so glad you haven't left us. For good, I mean." "Oh, I was so worried." I'm sure he was. He looks very worried. See, he's a creepy looking man. There's Brack. Oh, he's elderly and so sweet looking. There's the kids, knowing that this man probably is lying. All right. "Did you really think I would leave this place?" asked Brack with a grim smile. "Never," said Theophilus. "I know how much this stuffy old flea bag means to you. In fact, I know exactly how much." "Yeah, down to the penny, I bet," thought Charlie. "And that you were back," said Theophilus. "You must attend one of David Dragonstone's performances. It would mean so much to the young man to have one of the magic's oldest practitioners in the audience." "I have heard all about Dragonstone's tricks from my young friends," said Brack. "Well," said Theophilus, giving Charlie a sour smile, "don't believe anything you hear. Ah, well, you're here, these brats are here, and everything is back to normal." "Charming. I must talk to my partner about his next show. We're planning something really big." "I can't wait," said Brack. Theophilus swirled his cape and strode toward the elevators. "How can Brack just sit there and not say anything to that weasel?" said Tyler. "He didn't even ask that creep for an apology for locking him in that room." Charlie straightened his shirt. "Like Brack said, he doesn't have any evidence against Theophilus," he said. "I mean, Brack didn't exactly see who trapped him on the 13th floor." "Then we're going to find evidence," said Tyler. "Yeah, that's it. I know how to catch him red-handed." Tyler looked down at Charlie. "Come on, Hitchcock, we're going to the 13th floor." "What?" squawked Charlie. "The 12, said Ty. "Those statues." Oh, he shouldn't say that out loud. "You heard Brack say they were priceless. I'll bet that's what Theophilus is up to. He's going to steal them and make millions. But we're going to sit in that room and grab him as soon as he makes his move." Right, that was chapter 4. Chapter 5 is Standing Guard. This time they brought flashlights. Annie had to help Mrs. Yu in the office with some paperwork, so Charlie, Ty, and Cosette returned to the 13th floor, to the hallway outside Dragonstone and Theophilus's bedrooms. After fiddling with the plaster lily a few dozen times, they were able to keep the ramp stuck in a diagonal position. Once they stepped down to the 13th floor, they did the same with the sunflower and the second ramp. Now both ramps were stuck in the down position, and light flooded into the old hidden hallway from above and below. "The door's over there, around the corner," said Ty. "Room 1308. Their flashlights were able to pick out more details of the fantastic statues. "Who's the lady in the helmet?" asked Cosette. Charlie joined her. "That's Athena, also called Minerva, the goddess of wisdom." "Why would a smart woman need a helmet and a shield?" asked Cosette. "Because she was smart," said Tyler. "There were a lot of crazies, scary dudes back in the Greek days." And here they are looking at the statues. And that statue, Athena, she does appear to be quite beautiful. Okay. "And who's this with the wings on his feet?" she asked. "He's one of my favorites," said Charlie. "He's Hermes, the messenger of the gods. The wings helped him travel back and forth between Mount Olympus and Earth." "Hitchcock has a favorite Greek god. Does Hitchcock Hitchcock has a favorite Greek god?" Tyler said, smirking. "Nerd alert." "He looks cute," said Cosette. "Hitchcock?" said Ty. Cosette's face flushed deep red. "No, the messenger guy." Charlie's face felt hot. He quickly tried changing the subject by pointing at the statue of a tall male holding a bow. A quiver of arrows hung at his back, and a small sun beamed from his brow. "That's Apollo. He's supposed to be the god of the sun and beauty, and who's this creepy guy with the frown?" asked Tyler. Charlie and Cosette walked over to the statue Ty was facing. In the small space with all the statues' bodies jammed together, it was hard to see them all at once. "I'm not sure," said Charlie, "but I think he's Hades, the god of the underworld." Cosette shivered. "You mean like dead people and stuff? I'm getting out of here, y'all." Tyler turned to her. "I thought you wanted to help us guard this place." You guys got it. I have to work, said Cosette. Besides, these statues aren't going anywhere. They weigh a ton. To prove her wrong, Tyler bent his knees, grasped Hades, and tried straightening up. He strained and grunted and did manage to shift the statue from its base ever so slightly. See, no sweat, said Tyler, wiping his forehead. Like I said, they weigh a ton, replied Cosette. Wait a minute, Cosette, said Charlie. So, Ty, what exactly is your plan? What do you want us to do? Tyler stared at Charlie as if he had just arrived on the planet. Stand guard over the statues, he said, and catch that creep Theophilus when he comes in to steal them. Stay up here, said Cosette. We'll take turns, said Ty. You wimps go do your work or read more books or talk about your favorite gods or something. And I'll stay up here with the door locked. Then you come back in an hour and Charlie takes over. Bring plenty to eat. See if you can get my dad to make a pizza. Tyler hurried him out of the room. A moment later, Cosette was also rushed into the hall, the door closing behind her. She turned as if to re-enter, but the doorknob jiggled uselessly in her hands. Cosette sighed. Let's go back to the elevators and... She hesitated. Charlie guessed she was thinking about the 14th floor and how close they were to David Dragonstone's room. Did you hear something? Asked Cosette. Like a thump or something? Charlie tried the knob, but the door was locked. The two of them pounded on the door. Let us in! Shouted Charlie. Not a sound came from the room of statues. All right. Next, we'll read Chapter 6, The Locked Door. So, evidently, Annie had to do some work in the office with Mrs. Yu, Tyler's mother. So, Charlie and Tyler and Cosette all went back, and now they're stuck. All right, so Chapter 6 is The Locked Door, and I'll read that in just a little bit. Bye.